Welcome to Vishnu IAS Academy. We are excited to announce the launch of our new courses. Contact us for registrations and counseling. Hard work never fails. Keep learning.
Hello everyone, myself Umesh. I have been a faculty for history for the past 6 years. Earlier I used to teach in Hyderabad and later I went to Bangalore, and for the past 3.5 years I was teaching in Bangalore. And the thing is, I am a personal trainer for history as a subject for general studies and for history optional too. And with respect to my own experience in UPSC, I have written 5 mains and have attended in a couple of interviews. That has been my background. And when it comes to training UPSC aspirants, I have been associated with many toppers over the years. I have been part of initially first 2 years of my teaching career. It was at Hyderabad in Hyderabad Study Circle. Then I replaced one faculty in Hyderabad Study Circle, and I was part of Hyderabad Study Circle for 2 years with excellent reviews. Because of that reason, I was called to work for an academy called Insights. I think you might be knowing about the Insights on India website. So I have worked for more than 1.5 years, and I have personally mentored many toppers because of my own experience of UPSC preparation. And academically, I am associated with just teaching history, but apart from that also I mentored students in other subjects too. And along with that, if you see, later day, after 1.5 years of Insights on India, I was part of a team called Manifest IAS, and I was working in Bangalore for the past 2.5 years. And then Vishnu IAS Academy happened, and I had known Vishnu sir beforehand. So he has called me to take up history, and I'm planning to take up history. And when it comes to the plan of the course, the course plan is very well structured. Course plan is there. When it comes to I'm going to cover history comprehensively. It's not about just one part of history. I'm going to take up all sections of history, ranging from world history first, then modern India I'm going to pick up, then after that ancient and medieval India, and I'm going to divide ancient and medieval India into 3 sections. One is socio-economic line, then after that we have the political line, and after that we have the line of art and culture. So 3 lines I'm going to discuss in ancient and medieval India. And when it comes to history as a subject, over the years you might have seen there is a general change in the trend of questions which are being asked. From the 2013 on, there was a sea change in UPSC preparation. I think you might be knowing about it. So because of the change of paper, and along with that in preliminary also, the kind of questions which are being asked from history, they have become a very tough nut to crack. I think you might have seen last year's paper or the year before. What they are doing is, initially from 2013 on, they have given more number of questions from art and culture. Now slowly they are shifting pedal and they are changing their focus from art and culture to ancient and medieval India. Every year there are some questions that ranging from 5 to 8 questions are being asked from ancient and medieval India. Along with that, modern India, it always has its own due significance in preliminary. And I am going to touch upon very remote areas of the subject too. And I am going to teach it in a logically comprehensible manner. And for every class I am going to provide a handout too. Okay, so that I don't believe in dictation. Okay, I'll give the handout and I'll teach it. Okay, so that is how I'm going to plan my course. Then along with that, if you see, when it comes to preliminary, in preliminary, I told you that the sections which are important are modern India is one. Then apart from that, art and culture and ancient medieval India. 3 sections are important, right? And for each section, I am going to give good time. Okay, good time, and the total course is planned for roughly around 125 to 130 hours. And every day we are going to meet from today on for the coming 60 days, and we are going to cover the syllabus. And my classes are known for their comprehensiveness. Once you attend my classes, okay, you need not depend too much upon any textbook. And my strategy is usually beyond the book strategy. The books that you read, there is no point in me teaching the same content again. Over and above that, I am going to go in extra step, and from various sources I am going to collect the facts and I am going to give them to you. And I will also help you guys in remembering them too. And apart from that, if you see, my classes are also very useful for not just for the sake of prelims but also for the sake of mains too. When it comes to mains in history, the questions are mostly application oriented. They are not normal questions. Okay, I'll just give one small example. Earlier, before 2013, the kind of questions, the nature of questions was what? Okay, what is the contribution of Mahatma Gandhi to Indian national movement was the nature of question. Okay, but in 2014, UPSC has asked a question. Okay, it said that, okay, what would have been the nature of Indian national movement without a personality like Mahatma Gandhi? Okay, earlier question was what? Okay, what was contribution of Mahatma Gandhi to Indian national movement? Now the question is, they have changed the nature of question. Forget about Mahatma Gandhi, forget about the father of nation, and just imagine how Indian national movement would have been. Is it a question of history or creative literature? Huh? So you can't definitely say that it is a question of creative literature, okay? Because we are strictly bound by the academic boundaries of history as a subject. See, the question, I'll just give an idea for you. See, what we have to do there is we have to compare, okay? We have to compare because the nature of Indian national movement, because of Gandhi, it was substantially different from the national movements of many other countries. Many other third world countries are also there, right? There is no personality like Gandhi. So what happened in those countries, that is a comparative question with world history. That is how you have to phrase your answer. It is not a question of creative literature. It's a question of wherein it is directing you to other national movements where there is no personality like Gandhiji. So this way the nature of questions has been changing. Okay, just one question I have talked about. Other than that, there are many other questions. The nature of Takshila as a university, okay, and India as a living civilization. These kind of questions, they can be handled only if the classroom process is creative. If the classroom process is not creative, then automatically in the exam you will be forced to sit and think. But the thinking process, in my class, I will help you in thinking, and let us think together in our class. Okay, that would be more pertinent. Okay, that would be more pertinent, and that will enable you to directly critically think in the examination. So that is how I am going to plan my course. Okay, and my course is an integrated course for both preliminary and mains. There is no segregation. It is an integrated course for preliminary and main. Both for mains and prelims, whichever areas are important, I am going to cover them. Okay, and when it comes to my specialty as a teacher, okay, my specialty is, the thing is, usually most of the history teachers and historians, they are ideologically oriented. Either they go left or right. Okay, they have a particular ideology. Okay, but my ideology is very simple. My ideology is the ideology of UPSC examination. There is no ideology for me. Okay, my ideology, if you want me to tell, my ideology is to make as many students as possible to clear the examination. That is the only ideology that I have, and without any ideology, my class will be there. Then, apart from that, one more uniqueness with respect to my class is, I am going to what I am going to do is I am going to teach history in a logical, coherent whole. Okay, there will not be any logical inconsistencies in my subject. Okay, because of this logical consistency in the subject, it will be more easier for the students to remember them. Okay, so this is how we are going to plan the course at Vishnu's IAS. And the coming 60 days, okay, the coming 50 or 60 days roughly, for a total of 125 to 130 hours, we are going to cover history in all its aspects, and it will be a comprehensive class for you. Okay, that's the thing. And I think this has been a short introduction, but from Monday on we are going to meet. Okay, that is 20th of September. Okay, 20th of September, Monday on, we are going to meet for regular classes, and we will see, okay, how it will pan out. And I want the students also to be a little more creative and active in class. Okay, I want students to ask questions. And when I was just entering the class, I overheard a student talking about when did Akbar ban, okay, what? Jizya system. Yes, I overread it. Okay, but usually in history, the need for dates is very less nowadays. Okay, you need not worry too much about the dates. Okay, I just wanted to clarify, even without asking me a question, I wanted to clarify. Okay, whatever the year might be, rather than that, okay, you have to remember history in a chronological format, and I'll help you in doing that. Okay, because all my classes, what I do is I'll first give a class plan, okay, wherein the subject plan I'm going to give, and after that only I'm going to handle the subject. And from 20th of September, we are going to start world history. That's it. Have a good day.